It was a hard day's work for Thomas. More visitors than usual came to check out the railway, so Thomas had no time to rest all day, other than getting more water and coal. When he got to the junction, it was sunset, and he was ready to get to the sheds for some shut-eye. But before he could, he saw Stanley stopping next to him with some trucks. He did not look happy one bit.
Evening, Stanley. Is there something wrong?
As a matter of fact, Thomas, there is. It's that ridiculous Diesel. He was supposed to be the one getting my trucks together before I arrived, but when I got there, none of them were organized, and he said that he just got the news and didn't have time to get started, even though he was there the whole time, so I had to do all the work myself.
Jeez, seems like you had a rough day.
You don't know the half of it, Thomas. I just don't understand why in the name of Goddard has Diesel not been sent away to a different railway already. It seems like Sir Topham has less important things to worry about.
Well, Sir Topham did send Diesel away once.
Really? What happened?
It's going to get dark soon, and I'm really tired to tell you. Maybe I can tell you the story in the morning.
Aw, come on, Thomas. I'm too curious to go to sleep now and wait to hear the story in the morning.
Well, I guess there's time to tell you the story now.
Yes! So, why is Diesel now part of the Northwestern Railway?
Well, let me tell you, my good friend.
And that was the story that Thomas told Stanley. Percy and Duck were working at the docks from daytime to nighttime, but they were so tired that Sir Topham had to get another engine to help, but Diesel was the only one available. When he got to the docks, he was already causing trouble, and he had caused trouble so many times that it had got to a point where Sir Topham couldn't take it anymore, so he got rid of Diesel and never returned. Or so everyone thought. Shortly after the incident, Percy wasn't feeling well, and Sir Topham had to check on him to see the problem.
I'm afraid you'll have to go to the works to get fixed. They'll make you feel better, but it'll take a long time.
But sir, what about my trucks? Toby can't take care of them all.
Oh no, please don't make me do it again, sir. I already went through enough trouble after Mavis's accident.
Don't worry, Toby, I won't. But you're right, Percy. I'll have to see who's able to do it while you're away.
But it was hard for him to find an engine to do Percy's work. All of the other engines had their own jobs to do as well, and wasn't available to do the extra job. So, Sir Topham called the other railway to see if there was an engine who can work for him until Percy was better. They told him the engine's name, and he wasn't happy one bit. But he knew that if he said no, then some confusion and delay will happen. So he said yes and hung the phone.
The other engines will not be happy when he comes to the railway.
The next day came, and Duck was shunting some trucks when he heard an oil purring noise.
That noise. It sounds familiar. It sounds like... Oh no.
The noise was Diesel. He didn't see Duck and passed by. Duck was in shock.
What? How is this possible? I thought Diesel was gone for real. Can't Sir Topham learn from his lessons and make up his mind?
When Diesel arrived at the junction, Thomas was there with Annie and Clarabelle.
Hello. You must be Diesel. I've heard of you. I've also heard that you're here to do Percy's work while he's away. So you better not do anything stupid nor cause any trouble.
Me? trouble. My word, I'm just to be of assistance till your friend gets better, so I won't cause any trouble.
Uh-huh. I'll believe that when I see it. So you better keep your word. Those trucks over there needs to go to the shunting yards, if you're able to do that.
Thomas puffed away with his coaches. Diesel got coupled up to the trucks and went to the shunting yards where Toby was at.
Oh, you must be Diesel. Well, these stone cars needs to go to the docks, so no messing around.
Certainly not, my friend. I will get these trucks out of your way so they can be at the docks.
After Diesel left, Toby wasn't sure about working with him and Thomas. That night, Diesel was at the shed with them, and they told him that they will not stand any nonsense from him.
Don't worry, you have my word. I will not do anything dumb. I understand that work is very important.
Thomas and Toby weren't sure about his words all the way, but they believed that he can do better than the last time he was on Sodor. The next morning, Diesel was at the junction where some trucks needed to be taken. However, they were being really naughty to Diesel and went too far.
Oh, yuck! It's Oily Diesel! Oily Diesel? But I thought he was gone for good. I thought that too, but I guess the Tupper Hat didn't have the heart to let him go, so he wanted him back. Excellent. Now we can tease him even more. Have you heard of his promise to Thomas and Toby that he won't cause any trouble? I don't think he'll last that long with his word. I agree. What were the words he used again? I believe it was, "Yes, Thomas, I understand. Anything you say, Thomas."
The trucks laughed, but Diesel lost patience. He bumped the trucks so hard, some of them came off the tracks.
Let that be a lesson to all of you on who you're messing with.
Diesel was proud of what he did, but not for long. He realized that he made a huge mistake when Sir Topham Hatt walked out of his office. He was not happy one bit.
I thought I could trust you with this, Diesel, but now I know that you're just never gonna learn your lesson. I'll have to send you back to the other railway when I have the time to arrange it.
Diesel was upset. He didn't mean to cause any problems. He now knows that losing his temper on the trucks or anyone else would take him to a bad path. 2 days later, Daisy was taking her passengers when she felt something wet and wasn't sure what it is. It wasn't until she arrived at her next stop when her driver checked out what it was.
You've lost most of your oil. Your passengers will have to be with someone else.
A few minutes later, Thomas and Bertie came to pick up her passengers. They promised her that they will make sure her passengers will be fine. But things didn't go as planned. When Thomas went up the hill, his wheels were slipping because the tracks were wet from a rainstorm the previous night. So he started to slide down the hill, and he put on his brakes, but the weight of the coaches didn't help him stop, and Clarabelle's back wheels came off the rails. Luckily, no one was hurt, but Thomas wasn't able to move without causing more damage. He was stuck. However, his luck changed when Diesel came towards him. He was on his way to the other railway in disgrace, but he now knows that he needs to help Thomas.
Bother. Just when I thought things couldn't get worse. I'll have to help him if I have to.
So Thomas's driver coupled him up to Thomas, and he started to pull with all of his strength. He pulled as hard as he can, and at last, Clarabelle came back onto the rails.
Thank you, Diesel.
It's no problem at all. Now let's get you and your passengers to the station.
Everyone made it to the station on time without any more problems, so Topham Hatt was pleased to see them. Then he spoke to Diesel.
I heard you were on your way back to the other railway till you bumped into Thomas, and I'm thinking of giving you at least one more chance to be on this railway. Do you want to be on this railway?
Why, sir, I would be happy to continue working on this railway.
Splendid. Welcome to Sodor.
And that's why Diesel is still working on this railway to this day.
So, he was given one more chance, and he would have been gone by now?
I think Diesel can't help himself. Just like I can't help myself from being a cheeky engine.
I guess you're right, Thomas. But still, he could just make engines cringe from his deviousness.
I don't blame you. Jeez, what time is it? I really need some shut-eye so I can work on my branch line again.
Okay. Good night, Thomas.
Good night, Stanley.
And Thomas puffed away to the shed so he can sleep, but he couldn't stop thinking about the past event of Diesel helping him for the rest of the night.